I'll tell you two things that I learned through failure, which, is always the best way to learn if you can fail fast and just adjust. But the first thing is you have to be really self-aware of what your preferences are versus what your employees' preferences are. I could have an idea at 7 o'clock at night and want to talk about it, and then shoot a text message or an email or an IM, around the team, and then I get responses. And it was easy for me to think, oh, well, they must really want to talk about it now too. And then, we would get into these back and forths. And then, through thankfully one of my team members really just kind of being open and honest with me, sharing like, yeah, I don't really want to get, messages like that, but when I do, I feel like I have to respond, especially when I see other people from the team responding. And so being mindful of like when people really are open and want to communicate and what the different modalities of communication are, that's the first thing, right? So just don't think that because you're okay with it, everybody else is okay with it. And I think the second thing is kind of the same, but it is really easy in a remote work world to just always look at the gains of productivity because you don't have the hour commute into the office. You don't have the water cooler time. And so it's easy just to look at somebody's calendar and be like, oh, I'll block this hour, I'll block that half hour, I'll block, and then it's like you're just on the back to back to back to back to back schedule because you have nothing in between. It's like I don't have to walk to another meeting. I don't have to drive to that location. And so you don't get those natural interruptions in the day. So as a leader, you have to be mindful of that, I think, to really tell people like, hey, you need to go to lunch today. Even if you're going to order lunch, like let me order lunch for you and then eat that lunch in your, sunroom, living room, back deck, whatever, like away from your computer. Create the natural interruptions in your day just to decompress because if you wait for the end of the day, it's been way too long. And people just aren't wired to be 24/7, 365. Whether you are, a hyperactive person or not, you still just need those moments in the day to just step away, get a breath, look at something else besides your computer screen. So as a leader, you need to engineer that for some people because they're not going to do it naturally, and other people are going to want to take advantage of the ability to now have an always on productive employee.